Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a super fun video because today I'm going to be showing you all of the things that I've made for my summer wardrobe this year. And there are quite a lot of things. I'm going into the order of everything that I've knit. Then I have one thing that I've crocheted, but I made that last year. And then a lot of sewing projects. I've probably done the most sewing this year for my summer wardrobe because sewing is just a lot quicker, so you can get more things done. So please bear with me if that's not something that you're interested in. So let's just get started with the video. So this one I actually made last year, but I just wanted to show you because I think it's such a summer staple. It's a little bit more of a transitional piece since it's made with wool. I am talking about the Vilma top by Gregoria fibers. I made this one using Vilcolana Peruvian Highland wool. So that's a 100% non-superwash wool. So it is quite warm and it's around a DK or worsted weight yarn, I would say. And I made it, as you can see, in this beautiful lilac color, which just makes it so summery. I think this is just a really nice layering piece with a blouse underneath, a dress, basically anything. You can also wear it in the summer evenings, which is really cute. I also love the little eyelets that are in there. I do remember not enjoying the knitting process of this and this yarn specifically, but I do love the finished object. So it's kind of when you have the finished object, you just forget all the pain that it took to make something. So this is one of my favorite summer pieces that I've made. So then the next piece is also a warmer piece. This is the Juzia sweater by Vert and Rose Knitwear. This one is long sleeve with beautiful flared sleeve that have a lace edge on the hem, which is just super summery and cute. This one I made with my own hand-dyed yarn, held together with a white Sari type of yarn, which kind of created this marled look. And the hand-dyed yarn that I used was also a Sari lace weight. So this one is super duper soft. It's basically like wearing an alpaca, not that I know what that feels like, but it's really soft. And I really love this pattern. I actually do think I would make it again. I'm not sure what color, but this is probably one of my most worn knits because it's very versatile while still having a little bit of an edge. I have spoken about this before, but I don't really love wearing plain stockinette garments, like a plain stockinette sweater. And this is still mostly just knitting stockinette, but then with a little detail, which just makes me want to wear it a lot more. And it also makes the knitting process more enjoyable for me. Yeah, I think if I want a project that has a lot of stockinette, which I was actually thinking about, I might just have to knit another one of these because it's really nice. And it's a raglan, as you can tell. And then as another layering piece, I would really recommend my own pattern, which is the Vivienne vintage cardigan. I looked at all of my cardigans that I've knitted, and then this is probably one of my favorites, especially the yarn that I use, but also just the general design. I really love the little puff sleeve that it has. It makes it really wearable for me and really something special and elevated. I think this is just, like I said, really nice worn over dresses, tops with shorts or jeans is really cute, skirts of course. Then the yarn that I used for this one was Drop Soft Tweed, which is a DK weight yarn held together with a Sari yarn, which was Long Yarns Alpaca Super Light. And that also made the fabric really nice and lightweight because it is knit on 5mm needles. So here you can see the piece a little bit better. I absolutely adore this cardigan. It's probably my most worn knit in my wardrobe, which says a lot. So I just had to share it with you. Also, before I forget to say this, but all of the links for all of the patterns that I mentioned will be linked in my description, as well as probably the Ruffle pages that I made for my own personal projects. And then you can also see the yarn in more detail or any modifications that I made. Then the next piece is also a little bit more of a warm and transitional piece. This one was recently finished. And this is the Lulu Slipover by Petite knit in this beautiful colored yarn. This is Scheepjes Stonewashed Minerals XL, which means it's the iron weight version of that yarn because they also have a sport weight version. And then this one, I always forget the name of the colorway, but I don't know, it will be in the description again. And I think it's really nice. Like I said, it's a really fun layering piece. I think I absolutely made the right choice of making it in a bold self-striping yarn like this. I don't think I would love it as much if it was just one solid color. It would be a little bit too basic for me, kind of more ready to wear, and that's not really my style. My style is, I think, more quirky and handmade. So this is the back. It is quite warm, even though the yarn is 70% cotton and then the rest is polyester. It's just quite heavy for some reason, and that's why I call it also a more transitional piece, but maybe depending on the yarn that you choose, it can be either more warm or more cooler. Then we are going more into the really summery knit. So the first one is the Petite by Sari N. This one I knit in the Katja Concept Cotton Yak, which I absolutely love that yarn. It is, yeah, like it says, cotton and yak, and I think that's a really nice combination. This one is knit on 4mm needles, so it's a DK weight project, which is really nice. And I love this all over stitch pattern. Like, that's just adorable. As you can see, or if you're familiar with the pattern, I opted for a picot edge on the neckline as well as around the sleeves, which did make my neckline a little bit tight, so it's honestly a little bit tricky to get over my head. But once it's on, it's fine. Just don't take it off, you know? This is also a raglan shaped pattern, and it does have some like nice shaping in a raglan. I think maybe this is a compound raglan, but I'm not entirely sure. But I will show you. It kind of curves like this, like an S shape, which I think flatters the body more. I think that's what's usually happening with a compound raglan. But this is a really lovely pattern, and I think I would knit this again actually. I think it also fits me very nice, and I just love it in the yarn. Just really nice and squishy. Then the next pattern is one of my own actually, and this one should be released by the time this video comes online. So I will also link it below, because now you can still get it with the discount code for 15% off. The discount code will be Hello Rose, and this is, as you guessed it, the Rose Ruffle top. Right now it's actually undone in the back, but it has a little I-cord bow right there, and this is how it looks. This is the baby doll version, which just means that the ruffle starts right underneath your chest or your bust, and then, you know, it flares out like this with a little lace frill. Then there's also a version which some of the testers have knit, so there will be some pictures of that. That is the peplum version, which just means knitting this until your waist and then having a plain stockinette ruffle. Even though some testers did still do the lace, so that's up to you. Basically 3 versions then, I guess. And then I love the open back detail that it has, which just looks like this. So you just tie this one in a little bow, and it still covers all of your bra straps. So right underneath here will be the clasp of your bra. And then of course, since the shoulders are so wide, it will also cover all of the straps, which I think is an absolute pro, because, you know, most summer tops tend to not do that. And I just really like this sleek look. This one has a combination of lace and then also some bubbles, so I will show you that up close. And then all the necklines are finished with I-cord. Such a lovely top, also knit on 4mm needles with Mayflower Amalfi, which is part bamboo, part cotton, which gives this garment the amazing drape that it has, which I think really suits this pattern. Maybe something with silk or linen could also be really nice. Then we have probably my most recent finished summer top, which is the Sailor Swift top by Kutova Kika. This one I made in a 100% cotton yarn, so it looks like this. Really cute, really simple, just all stockinette with stripes. The knitting process for me was really quick, despite the fact that it's on 3mm needles, but I also made the smallest size. The thing that really took me very long to do was the I-cord edges. Not the actual knitting of it, just the procrastination of leading up to it. I think you all know that feeling. For some reason the I-cords were really daunting to me, but then after I did it, it took me like an hour or something to do them. And yeah, I was quite happy then that it was finally done and I didn't have to procrastinate it any longer. I think this is a really nice, versatile, and especially a nice basic top. I really love the racer neckline that it has, so it kind of goes like this. It's really narrow at the top, you will see in the pictures or the try-on clip. This one is definitely something that you could make multiple versions of, maybe with some scrappy yarn or in a plain solid color, or play around with the stripes. It's very versatile, basic pattern like I said, and I like it. I would recommend. Then I have one more fiber related thing, which is a crochet project that I made last year. It's just a little thing that it's not essential, but just fun to have or make, at least I think. And it's a little crochet bucket hat. This one was basically ripped off by me from Another Stories. I copied the exact color style of the grannies, exactly everything. So it has these really cute crochet floral granny squares. This is Katcha Alabama yarn. And then the pink yarn is Concept Katcha Cotton in Love, which is also a really nice yarn. It has some wool in there as well. And this is just nice to wear on your head if you're gonna be out in the sun a lot. You know, protect your head from heat stroke and wear something like this. That's how I use it at least. And it's just a fun, quirky, you know, little thing I'm wearing my head. This is not a look, but you get the point. I don't really remember how I made this, but I do remember that it was pretty easy. And I was a less experienced crocheter last year, so if I could figure this out, I think you can also figure it out. So those were all of the knitting and crochet things that I've made for my summer wardrobe. And now we can get into the huge pile of sewing projects that I've made. I'm going to be starting with all of the bottoms, then we have tops and some dresses. So the first one is actually my most recent finished object. I actually made it this morning. And this is the bow boxer shorts by Matchy Sewing Club. By the time this video gets online, this pattern will not be released yet, I think, because that will be the day that the testing of this is going to end. So I don't know what their release date is yet. Hopefully it is soon, because it's a really lovely summer pattern. So it looks like this. They are, as the name suggests, kind of like boxer shorts, which is very trendy right now. So it has a waistband that is elasticated with the line stitched on top. And it's a little bit of a mid-rise, which a lot of the boxer shorts, like you borrowed them from your boyfriend kind of style, also have. But then this one has a really cute little touch with these little slits on the side and a little bow, which I think is just adorable. So I made it in this really nice cotton poplin with a really beautiful floral print, which I was kindly gifted by Katja, which was really fun. I have a lot of this fabric left, so I want to make probably a skirt and maybe a matching top as well. Then I made it with the 8cm inseam, so it's a little bit short, but I think it's cute. Maybe with my next version I'm going to make the longer length just so it's a little bit more wearable. But this one, nonetheless, is still very wearable. I would highly recommend this pattern if you want to make like the perfect summer PJs. Then this pattern would be my go-to. So cute for pajamas. Also something that you can wear outside. It's just a lovely pattern. And I think I'm actually also going to make a long-legged version. So not shorts, just like pants is what I'm trying to say. And I think that will be really nice because in contrast to another pair of pants that I have from them, which I will talk about later, this is a little bit less wide. So I think this will suit me a little bit better when it's full length. And I also loved the waistband that this one has. That it's kind of like a sporty look. It would also be really cute with a little label sewn on the top, which a lot of the ready-to-wear boxer shorts have. Love these and I would really recommend. So now that I'm talking about those, I might as well show you the other pattern that I've made from Matchy Sewing Club, which are the pants of the Ruffle Brunch set. The Ruffle Brunch set exists of a top as well as some pants with a ruffle. The top I still have not yet made. I really want to, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I will show you the pants. So these are my first version. These are cream and then I will show you the bottom so you can actually see. They have this little ruffle on the hem, which is super cute, and then the elasticated waistband. And these ones have pockets. The bow boxer shorts don't have any pockets, but I actually like that. I don't really use my pockets honestly, and they then just feel very bulky on my skin. I don't really like it actually. It's an unpopular opinion, but I don't love pockets. But this one is just super wide, so it is very comfortable, but just when I hold it up, the width of this is probably the widest pant that I've ever worn. So it is a little bit like I'm drowning inside of them. I then decided to make another version. So here I just decided to take away some of the width from the front and the back. So it's just a little bit less wide and it fits me a lot better. Other than that, I made no adjustments besides leaving out the pockets because like I said, I just didn't really like that experience. I felt like I wasn't using the pockets anyways, but other than that, it's the same. So we have the little ruffle here. So this pair I made with a sandwash cotton, which is a really nice fabric. It makes it a little bit vintage feeling, which I really enjoy. And then the other one is a viscose linen blend, which is super nice for the summer, very flowy and breathable. And this one is maybe more if you want to transition also to fall, but they're still really thin, so keep that in mind if you want to use a similar fabric. Then the next thing that I made was this little summery set. The first one is a self-drafted skirt, but it's super simple because it's just a rectangle with elastic and then making slits on the side. And this I also made in the linen viscose fabric, but in this burgundy color, which is not the first thing you think about when you think of summer, but I guess it's what I did. But it looks like this, and then it also has a little ruffle on the hem, which is really cute. And then this is the slit that I was talking about. And this is the little top that I made to match it, which is the Bubble Frock by Lydia Noami Patterns, I think is her name. The only adjustment that I made was to make it into a top. Then instead of the zipper in the back, I did elastic here. And then I have these white straps to tie it on the top of the shoulder, which I actually don't really like in hindsight. Because of that, it's not really something that I am quick to wear. It really has to be really good weather for me to be able to wear it like this. Because a lot of the time when I want to wear something like this, I want to also bring like a sweater or a cardigan with me to wear on top. But then I end up having these huge bows or like big lumps on my shoulder and it looks very strange. So I haven't really worn this a ton, which is a shame. I think with my next version, I really would like to make this into a dress because I feel like I haven't made a lot of dresses. So I think that's the only part of my summer wardrobe that's maybe lacking, in quotes, a little bit now. And then I would like to have the straps that I can adjust. I think that would be really cute, like just the tin straps that the original pattern I think has. And she has a bunch of other nice patterns. And I also saw that she was asking for testers for a beautiful dress pattern. So I'm excited when that one comes out to maybe try that one. Then we have a few more skirts. The first one is my most worn skirt, or maybe even my most worn like sewn finished object of this summer so far, which is my Doe dupe skirt, which just looks like this. This is a dupe from the Doe and Sebastian skirt, which has some pin tucks here. Then I did an elasticated waistband instead of having a zipper because comfort. And then it has a gather here with a lot of pin tucks and a little lace hem on the bottom. And then I also lined it with a cotton voile. I made a tutorial about how I made this, so that's on my channel. I will also link that below. And it's just my most worn object, I think, because it's white, so it goes with absolutely everything. But then it's also super comfortable, the length, the fabric. I basically love everything about it, and I'm so happy that I made this. I was thinking, like I said, the bow boxer shorts in that blue fabric. I was thinking of making another skirt with that fabric, and I think that would be really cute. Because this is just amazing, and I definitely want to make more versions of it. Because I love this one so much, I think I would love other versions just as much. And then I have two more skirts. These are both Clo bias skirts by Soft and Studio Patterns. I showed these also in my last knitting podcast because I finished them that week. So I made two versions. One is a midi length and then one is more of a maxi length. So first off we have the midi length in this really fun paisley type of viscose fabric with a really beautiful gold shimmer in there. Really cute, really simple. This is a bias cut skirt, so it just flatters your body really well. It doesn't matter what you look like, this will look good on absolutely everything. Well, anything can look good on anybody, but this specifically I think will just look really, like, there's no way that this will not look good. It's just very, very beautiful. I also love how the original pattern has a little drawstring in the front, which I would have loved to add to this, but I made a little mistake, so mine don't have that. But I do really want to make another version maybe one day in a linen fabric. And then this is the longer version that I made in this really nice pink viscose fabric with some white floral print. I love anything that has an elasticated waistband because that just makes it a lot more comfortable for me to wear. I'm much more likely to wear something that is elasticated than if it isn't. I would really recommend that pattern because it's also very versatile. Then next up is another pattern that I love. There are so many sewing patterns out of these that I love and that I've made multiple versions of. So this is the Catalina top by Kaden Naughton. She is on Etsy but also on Instagram. And it's a really cute, more like exposed top with little ties in the front that just tie like this. And they are reversible. At least if you make the lined version, you can wear it on both ways, which is just amazing. So you can get two tops for the price of one, which who doesn't love that? And then this top also requires almost no fabric to make, probably less than half a meter, and you can make one of these, which is just awesome. You know, we all have a lot of scrap fabrics if you sew or just do crafty things, and therefore I would really recommend it. I made it in the smallest size. I think it's true to size, and it's very size inclusive, especially for the larger sizes. If you're smaller than me, then maybe don't try this top, because then I already made the smaller size, so I would then not recommend it. I will show you the fabric in a bit more detail, but one side is block printed cotton and the other one is just a floral cotton voile. And then I made one that's a little bit thicker, so I made this one with a super nice light wash denim fabric, and then on the other side a vintage quilting cotton that I got from the thrift store. It looks like that. And then the little straps that I did for this one is gingham with floral, and it's just adorable. This one I made a few mistakes with, like I said in my last video, but we won't get into that. It's still a really great pattern, and it had nothing to do with the pattern, just me being a little bit silly. And I think once again I really want to make more versions of this because I think it's a great scrap buster, and I'm also a sucker for a matching set, so just a skirt with a top like this is a ready to go outfit in my opinion. Then next up we have this blouse, which is really fun because I combined crochet with sewing in this one. So this is the Daisy Chain Patterns Poly blouse. This one I absolutely love and I do wear quite a bit. The only thing is that it's too big for me, which is mostly here in the shoulder. You can even see it when it's hanging on the hanger that it kind of flares out here, which also it does on my body as well. So basically I would have to take in a lot of the fabric here to make it fit me a little bit better, and also to just bring this in a little bit more. But despite all of those flaws, I adore this top and I adore the fabric that I made it in. This is a beautiful cotton voile again. Then of course this little crochet upper makes it really unique, and I love having a little bit of texture there just makes it a lot more fun to me. Like I said, I like things that look a little bit handmade maybe. And this one definitely does look more unique and not like a typical shirt that you can just buy anywhere. I'm seeing now that there's a little stain on there, so that's not nice. I'll just put it in the wash, I guess. I really want to make more versions of this pattern, but I am a little bit scared just because the first one didn't turn out very well. And I'm not sure how great the adjustments are going to be for this one. But I do want to give it another try, and I have not decided yet if I want to make it the same, like with the same crochet thing, or if I want to do something different. But I do adore it, and it's very cute. And I still would recommend, just maybe not for if you're really petite. Then the next pattern is also one of my favorites, and this is the Eleonora dress or top pattern by Silver Saga Patterns. She makes beautiful sewing patterns, even though this is the only one that I've tried. I just know that they are really amazing and very detailed and with really high quality instructions. They also come with a high price tag, but I do understand for the work that it gets put into all of those patterns. So this is a little top version that I made. This one has a little bow, and then I opted for only having elastic here, so you can absolutely stretch it out very far, which I just find very comfortable. Then I made my sleeves a lot less wide, just because I didn't have enough fabric to make the original sleeves, and I also lengthened them a little bit. And then, because I wanted to make a blouse and I accidentally cut this bodice part too short, I was forced to add a ruffle, which in hindsight I do think is very cute. But I was actually thinking about this pattern today and thinking that again, I want to make another version, but this time I don't want to make the same mistake. I think my ideal outfit combination right now, or maybe my next sewing project, will be the bow boxer shorts as long pants and then having an Eleonora top with the normal length as a matching set. I think that would be adorable. So basically all the same fabric. I love that stuff. And then I also really love this fabric. This is again a cotton voile, but then this is called a Petite fabric, which I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but it basically refers to all of the little dots, like the texture that this one has going on, which is very cute. So if you Google that, I think you will be able to find something similar. And then I also made the Eleonora dress originally. So this was my first version with a cotton block print from India in a darker color. So this was one of the first things that I've made probably this summer, so it's more wintry because I can also wear it in the winter with these colors, I think. And then for this one I was lazy, so I didn't do the bow or the ribbons that are here and then also here. But I do like that it's more simple and minimalistic. It's just such a great pattern. I made this one midi length, so it's quite long, and I just absolutely adore it. And I see many more of this in my future. I really love just finding go-to sewing patterns and then making them again and again. So I think that's also what this video is mostly about, just patterns that are my tried and true and that I can make again and again. Just make multiple versions. Like, you don't need 50 different sewing patterns, you just need a couple, and then you can make your entire wardrobe yourself if you want to. Then I have one more blouse and then one more dress, and then we're finished. So this one I sadly don't have a pattern for, but I thought I would just mention it very briefly. This was supposed to be a sewing pattern of mine, and I still really want to make it into a sewing pattern. I just have no idea when that's going to happen. Like, I just have so much on my plate, and then I tend to want a little bit too much most of the time, so I'm not sure if it's ever going to happen. But this would have been the penny blouse or dress, and it had these little pin tucks here, and then the little ties in the front. It's just adorable. Maybe if I can find some similar patterns, I will link it below. I know for sure there are a lot of patterns that have the little ties in the front. Like, for example, also the Fleur by this fabric company. What was it called? I will link that pattern below, but it's really nice, and it also has a privacy placket in the front. But like I was saying, I don't know if there are any patterns that combine it with pin tuck. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but yeah, it's very cute. And it's one of the things that I made. Again, a cotton block print, because I love cotton block prints. Beautiful pink color. And then my final thing that I made is a dress, also in a cotton block print. Are you surprised? This one is the Elliot top that I hacked into a dress by Cool Stitches. So it's basically the same, except here I did also different ties because I made it a dupe of a dress. I will link the making vlog that I shared this in below, because I really don't remember all of the adjustments that I made here. But I'm referring to these little ties. I made them a lot bigger. And then this is all actually elasticated. And then I made bubble sleeves like this, where it actually has some of the fabric still on the inside with elastic here, which just creates a beautiful, like, puffy sleeve. So the sleeves are lined, as well as the bodice is also completely lined. And then the skirt is also midi length. It's a beautiful dress. I don't wear this one often enough. I think it's because it feels a little bit more fancy to me. So it's not something that I just quickly grab and head out the door. It feels more like for a special occasion, which is not bad. You know, I don't mind saving some things for a special time, but I do love this one and I would really recommend the pattern. I think I maybe one day will also make the blouse or the top version, but it was really fun to also make it into a dress. And I've seen, I think, also other people doing that, so it's not too difficult. So those were all of the things that I've made, sewn, knit, etc. for my Me Made Summer wardrobe. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I will either now share some outfits or you will have already seen some of the outfits whilst I was talking about all of the pieces. For now, that's all that I have to say for this video and I really hope that you enjoyed and I will see you in my next video. For now, I wish you all a very happy day, happy knitting and sewing, and I will see you then. Bye bye!